language from the server side. From the server side. So next, so using HTML tags, you can write the PHP scripting language. First, so it was developed in the 1994. Its first name is the personal home page. After that, it is renamed as the hypertext preprocessor. Hypertext preprocessor, it is developed based on the C language. If you learn the C language, it is easy to understand the PHP scripting language. It is called a scripting language. This is the introduction to the PHP. Next, we will discuss about the characteristics of the PHP, hypertext preprocessing. So these are the characteristics of the PHP: simplicity, flexibility, open source, efficiency, security. So we will discuss one by one what is simplicity, what is flexibility, what is open source, what is efficiency, and what is security. Security. So first of all, simplicity. Why PHP is simplicity? So it is based upon the C language. That's why it is C, very simple language. Very simple. C language is a very simple language, easy language to learn. Anybody can learn the C language. So PHP also developed based upon the C language. That's why it is the very easy language. Very easy and simplicity. Anybody can learn this PHP scripting language. Scripting language. Next one is the flexibility. So what is meant by the flexibility? What is meant by the flexibility means, suppose you, you have the mobile phones, right? Or you have the smart mobile phones. You have only one SIM card. That SIM card is the flexibility to work with the any network, either Airtel, Vodafone. You can switch to anyone. So like that, here also PHP can embedded with the HTML, XML, JavaScript, and so many other languages. And you can run the PHP programs in the Linux, Unix, Windows, etc. Several. You can connect using PHP to the several databases also. That's why it is the very flexibility. Very flexibility. So using one SIM card, you can convert to the any network, either Airtel, Jio, Vodafone. Like that, here also using PHP, you can write the HTML programs, XML programs, JavaScript programs, and so many other languages. It will incorporate. So using PHP, you can communicate with so many databases, MySQL, Oracle 11, like this. You can communicate with so many several databases. That's why it is a very flexible language. Next one is the open source. PHP is the open source. Why? Because it is available without any cost on the web. So you can freely download this PHP and you can install in our systems easily. So no need to pay any amount, and all libraries automatically it will install while installing the PHP software in your system. So that's why it is called the open source. Open source means anybody can access this PHP scripting language. Anybody can download from the Google and anybody can install in their system. That's why it is the open source. No need to pay the any amount. Next one is the efficiency. So what is meant by the efficiency? So today efficiency plays an important role in every facet in our lives. So see, PHP is the one of the fastest scripting languages. It can connect to the databases and load the data in an instant. In addition to the providing a built-in database management system, it is also provide a session management and removes unwanted memory allocation. In addition, PHP supports the effective error reporting and exception handling. So efficiency means here using PHP scripting language, you can communicate with the connected to the database, and you can load that database into the your system, and you can provide the built-in database management system also. So it provides the session management means suppose if you want to buy any article, anything using the Flipkart or Amazon, then you can add to the cart add to the cart that article. So it will be on the cart too many days. So 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. It means it is maintaining the session. It is maintaining the session. It is saving the your data temporarily. That's why it is very efficiency. So next one is the security. So PHP will provide the very secure to the server as well as to the user. It will encrypt your data. What is meant by encrypt here? Encryption means, yes, who is this person? Please don't write anything on the screen, please. If you write anything on the screen, simply I will leave from the class. What is encryption here? Encryption means we are converting the readable text into the unreadable text. That is called the encryption. Again, we are decrypting the data means unreadable format into the readable format. That is the encryption and decryption. So using encryption technique, the PHP is providing the security. So PHP in the real world, where we can use the PHP in the real world. So in server-side scripting, we can use the PHP. In server-side scripting language, we can use the, so using PHP, you can modify the any web page, or you can do the any modifications from the web server or web browser, the server side. So next one is the command line scripting. So I think you learned about the DOS commands. Using the command line argument, we can execute the DOS commands. So like that PHP also we can run using the commands, Unix, Linux. That is called a command line scripting. Next one is the writing desktop applications. Using PHP, you can develop the desktop applications also. What are the desktop applications? So client side applications. Suppose if you are using the what is that? Wait for 1 minute. So suppose Zoom is the desktop application and the WhatsApp web app is the desktop application. Such type of applications also you can develop using the PHP. See here, if you want to write the any PHP code, any PHP programming using Angular brackets, you can write the PHP code. See, these are this is the open angular bracket, this is the closing angular bracket. So starts with the question mark and ends with the question mark. Within this angular brackets, you can write your code. You can write your code. So see, this is the syntax for the writing the PHP code. PHP. So, suppose listen. If you learn the C language, then now I will say the syntax of this C program. First, we have to include the library files. Hash include studio.h, something is there. After then, wide main within the open bracket and close brackets, you have to include the your code, include the in C language. Like that, in PHP also we have the some syntax. So that syntax begins with the angular bracket and ends with the with the angular brackets. So within the angular brackets, you can write your PHP code. So in angular brackets also contains the question mark and ending angle contains the question mark. So this is the syntax for the PHP. So using C language, if you wrote the C program, you can save that one with the extension file .c. If you type the word, it will save that the file as .doc. If you type the Excel data, if you save that Excel file with the extension .excel. Like that, here also you can save the your PHP files with the .php extension. .php extension with the HTML tags, incorporation with the HTML tags. See, if you want to print the hello world in C language, simply hash include studio.h wireman within the open braces, print within the double quotes, hello world, you can print that. So like that here also, using the HTML code, you can incorporate the PHP. See, first one is the HTML tag. So this is the starting tag of the HTML. HTML stands for the Hypertext Transfer Language. Hypertext Transfer Programming. Hypertext Markup Language. HTML stands for the Hypertext Markup Language. This is the starting tag of the HTML. Even HTML tags also we have to mention within the angular brackets. After that, body tag. So this is equal to Weidman in C language. So whatever you want to display the information, that code you have to write the within the Weidman, within that open brace and the close brace. Like that here also, you want to display anything on the web page, you have to write that one within the open body tag and the close body tag. Close body tag. See here, open. There is no any hash or anything here. This is the close tag. This is the open tag. So within the open body tag, close body tag, you have to write the code. See, H1 is the header tag. H1 is the header tag. So using this, you can print the bold letters in the headings, like headings. So my first PHP page, my first PHP page, close the H1 tag. Close the H1 tag. After that, here we are writing our PHP code. We are writing our PHP code. Starting angular bracket and question mark. Next PHP. PHP. After that, we have to write the echo. ECHO echo. This is equal to the printf in the C language, cout in the C++ language. Here, echo statement is equal to the printf in the C language and cout in the C++ language. So within the double quotes, you have to mention anything, not only hello world. You can mention your name or hello world, hi, how are you, like this, any text here. So it will print as it is. Whatever you mention the words within the double quotes, it will print as it is read. So after that, we are closing the HTML tag also. This is the open HTML tag. This is the close HTML tag. So you have to save this file with .php and you can run on the web. It will display like this. See, this is the H1 tag, my first web page. After that, this hello world we are printing on the web page. This is the code. This is the online compiler. So here I gave the explanation. You can read it. I will share this document with you. So next we will discuss about the PHP language basics. So like C language basics, how we learn the C language. Here also we have the some basic things are there. So these are the data types, variables, and the operators. These are the in any language, not only in PHP, C, CPP, Java, Python, .NET, VB script language, JavaScript language, any language, we have common these things: data types, variables, and operators. Operators, but syntax is different. Functionality is the same, but syntax is different from the one language to another language. In C language, one type of syntax we have. In C++, one type of syntax we have. C and CPP are both are same. Syntax is same also. So where is the difference between C and C++? We can use the for input C and C and for C++, scanf in C, for output printf in C language, C out in the C++. That is the difference between C and C. But in some other language, it is different syntax. So first we will discuss what data types. What is data type here? Data type define the which type of data we are using. Data type define the which type of data you are using. Either it is characters you are using, or numeric values, or decimal values, like this. Data type means we are defining the which type of data we are using. We are using character or sequence of characters or numeric values 0 to 9, or decimal values 1.0, 2.0, 3.5, 4.60, like this. So which type of data we are using? We have to say the compiler or interpreter. So I am using the numerical values. Then that is numeric values belongs to the integer. Integer characters A to Z. I am using the A to Z characters. Then it is those characters belongs to the character data type. I'm using the decimal values 2.75, 3.46, like this. I'm using the decimal values. Those values belongs to the double data type. I'm using the suppose sequence of characters. Sequence of characters, there is a B, C. These three are the sequence of characters. A, B, C, or something. Sequence of characters. Of characters belongs to the string data type.
Monday
Please mute your speakers, please. So like this, we can define the which type of data we are using in the program. That is called the data type. That is called the data type. Yes. Once again, I will explain. Listen carefully. So data type means which type of data we are using. There are data. Data type means which type of data, either numerical value 0 to 9, characters A to Z, decimal values, like this. We are saying the compiler or to the interpreter. So again, we have some types of data types in the PHP. Predefined data types, user-defined data types, and the special data types. Now we will discuss one by one. What is meant by the predefined data type? What is meant by the user-defined data types? What is meant by the special data type? So this is the diagram for the data types. Predefined data type, integer, double float, string, and boolean. User-defined data types are the arrays, objects. Special data types are the null and resource. So now we will discuss one by one. What is data type? What is string data type? What is boolean data type? What is double and what is float? What is array? What is object? What is null and what is resource? First, we will discuss about the predefined data types. Means these are the inbuilt data types. So already PHP compiler will provide these data. No need to code for these data types. Already these are the existing data types. Predefined types means already existing data type means the compiler or interpreter will provide these data types. You can use these data types. That's it. No need to write any code. Predefined means, yes, listen, predefined means, how can I predefine? One minute. Ready-made dresses. Predefined means, so if you want to go to buy ready-made dresses, you can buy ready-made dress. No need to stitching again. You can wear it directly. Like that, here also, predefined, you can directly use those things. No need to change. No need to write anything. So that type of data types are called the predefined data types. Already, these are the existing. So these are called the integer, double, string, and boolean. Integer means here, if you want to use the 0 to 9 digits numerical values, those values you can declare using the integer data type. Integer data type means if you want to use the numerical
ఇలా
value,
క్లాస్ ఏంటండి?
please mute your speakers, please. Somebody, who is that person, please?
Sir,
If
one more
you,
thing, sir. Your voice also clipping in between, sir.
sorry,
Your voice also clipping in between.
I think that is network problem.
Acha. Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Integer. Here, integer means if you want to use the 0 to 9 numerical values in your program, then we can use the integer data type. Those numerical values belongs to the integer data type. Next one is the either float or double. Double. Using double also you can declare the decimal values. Using float also you can declare the decimal values. Suppose if you want to use the two using integer, you can use the only 0 to 9 values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 like this. But you cannot declare the 2.0, 5.06, 5. So and so like this. Using float and double data types, you can declare decimal values. You can use the decimal values like 3.0, 5.07, 6.50 like this. You can use the. So what is the difference between the float and the double? Suppose float will occupy the 4 bytes of memory in the memory area, then double will occupy the 8 bytes. That is the difference between the float and double. So next one is the string. So what is meant by the string? Say string is a sequence of characters. String is nothing but sequence of characters or collection of characters. Sequence of characters are collection of characters. That is known as the string. String. So if you want to declare the sequence of characters or collection of characters, you can use the string data type. So next one is the Boolean data type. It contains the only two values, either true or false. If event is success, it will return the true value. If event otherwise, it will return the false value. Suppose if you keep the one condition, if that condition is true, then it will return the true value. If the otherwise, it will return the false. That is the Boolean. So these are the predefined data types. Next one is the array. What is meant by the array? It is also same as in C language. So array is a collection of elements with similar data type. Array is a collection of elements with similar data type. So in array, you can declare either integer values or double values or string values, but not combination of integer, double, and string. So that's why array is a collection of elements with similar data type. Objects. So if you learn the C++ language, you can easily recognize the object. So object is a reference to a class. So using this object, you can access the class variables, functions, methods. So that is the object. So next one is the null value. If you are not assign the any value to a variable, by default it will stores the null value. By default it will stores the null value. Null value. So these are the data types in PHP, predefined data types, user-defined data types, and the special data types. So these are the integer, decimal base 10, octal 8, and hexadecimal 16. This type of variable values you can store in a integer data type. This is the example program. See, decimal is the one variable, decimal 1 is the another variable. In decimal, I am storing the 142. This is the value. 254 also the value. So this is the octal. These are the decimal base integers. These are the octal base, and the next one is the hexadecimal base integers. Okay, clear? So, and I'm doing the sum also, decimal plus decimal 1. So echo is it is equal to the printf in C language, C out in the C++. Slash n is the cursor will display in the next line. Slash n stands for the new line. In the output screen, the cursor will blink on in the next line. Suppose if you print the sum, so 144 plus 254 means 69 296. 296 here it is printed. After that, if you want to print the one more output in the next line, for that purpose you can use the slash n. If you does not mention the slash n, the output will print the side by side. So I gave the each and everything explanation. What is double data type definition, and the example also. See, we are declaring the decimal value. See, using the double. See, using integer, I declare the only numerical values 0 to 9 values. I didn't declare here any decimal values. It is not possible with the integer data decimals. Using double, we can declare the decimal values. Next, string definition, and the C. Student is the variable Sam. SAM. Here we are whatever I said. String is nothing but collection of characters. Here is SAM. These three are the characters. We are collecting into the one place. See, this book belongs to the student. Boolean. Array definition. Objects. Null. This one. Next one is the operators concept. So what is the operator? Why we can use the operators in any language? In any language. So arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, increment decrement operators, logical operators, these are common operators in any language. So in PHP they added the string operators, array operators. So in some other language they mentioned string functions and array functions like this. So here they call the operators and conditional operators also. These are all common in any language, not only in PHP. C, C++, Java, Python, .NET, VBScript, JavaScript, and PHP, Perl, all in all languages, these are the common operators. Operator is a symbol. Operator is a one symbol. It can perform an action between two variables. It can perform an action between two variables. Yes, once again, I will explain, listen carefully. An operator is a symbol. It can perform an action in between the two variables. One example I will give you the, suppose plus is a symbol. Plus is a symbol. This is an operator. So it can add the two variables, A plus B. Here addition is the action. Addition is the action. A and B are the variables. A and B are the variables. So based upon this, operator is a symbol. It can perform an action between two variables. This is the definition. An operator is a symbol. It can perform action between two variables. In PHP, we have the different types of operators. Arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison operators, increment decrement operators, logical operators, string operators, array operators, and conditional operators. What is meant by the arithmetic operators? Arithmetic operators means here arithmetic values, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are all called the arithmetic operators. Addition means we are adding the two numbers. Subtracting means we are minusing the from one value to another value. So division. We are dividing the one value with using one value to another value. So these are the arithmetic operators: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are the arithmetic operators. What is meant by the assignment operators? So assignment operators we denote with the equal symbol. Equal symbol is called the assignment operator. Suppose if you want to assign a one value to a variable, suppose if you want the add two numbers, a equal to 10. Here equal to is the assignment. We are assigning the 10 value to the a using the equal to symbol. Again b equal to the 20. 20 here equal also assignment operator. Again c is equal to a plus b. C is equal to a plus b. Equal to the assignment operator. So like this we have the so many assignment operators are there. Plus equal to means it will add the one value. Minus equal to it will decrease the one value and assign the value. We will discuss one by one. Addition, subtraction, division, modulus, like this we have the arithmetic operators. Next C, assignment operator. C, A equal to B assigns the value of the expression on the C. A plus equal to B means suppose it is equal to the A is equal to A plus B. Suppose A value is the 10, B value is the 9. So it will add the 10 plus 9 and it will assign that 19 value to the A variable. Like that, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. Next, comparison operator. So what is meant by the comparison operator? Itself it is saying comparison means we are comparing the two variables. We are comparing the two variables. We are comparing the two persons, either elder person or younger person. Like that, here also we will compare the two variables using the comparison operator. Suppose if A greater than B, then A is the big value, B is the small value. Next, less than A less than B, then B is the bigger value, A is the small value. Like this, using these comparison operators, we will compare the variables. We will compare the variables: greater than, less than, greater than equal to, less than equal to, not equal to, equal to equal to. Like this, we have the so many assignment operators are there. So I mentioned clearly operator name, then meaning and example and result also. Next one is the increment and decrement operators. So what is meant by the increment operator and what is meant by the decrement operator? Increment operator means, suppose take the one example. If you give the A is equal to 10, if you want to increase A value to 11, then you can give the simply A plus plus. Plus plus is the increment operator. So if you give the double plus, plus plus is the increment operator. It will increase the any value to 1. Suppose if you gave the A is equal to 10, after then if you wrote the A plus plus, it will increase the 10 to 11. It will add the one value to any value. Suppose if you give the 21, A is equal to 21. If you keep the, after that A plus plus, it will increase the 21 value to the 22. It will add the one value to the any value. Any value. So like that decrement operator. So decrement operator, take the example A is equal to 10, A minus minus. Then it will decrease the one value. Means A is equal to 9. 9. Suppose A is equal to 10. After that, if you mention the A minus minus, it will decrease the one value. One value. It will subtract the one from the any value. That is the decrement operator. Increment means it will add the one value to any value. Decrement means it will subtract the one value to any value from the any value. That is the increment and the decrement operators. Next one is the logical operators. Logical operators, logical or, logical and logical not. So we will discuss. We have the three: logical and, logical or, and logical not. So we will discuss what is logical and, what is logical or, what is logical not. First, we will discuss about the logical and. Logical and. So we will represent this one with the ampersand symbol. Two ampersand symbols. Two ampersand symbols. There is this one. This is the logical and suppose if I am taking the A value, B value, and the result is the storing the C value. C value. If A is true and B is true, then only result is the true. Then only result is the true. If both values are true, output is the true. Otherwise, output is the false. Once again, I will explain. Listen carefully. I am taking the three variables. A, comma, B are the input values. C is the output value. C is the output variable. If I gave the A value is the true and B value is the true, then only C is the true. If both input values are the true, then output value is the true. Otherwise, it will output value is the false. Suppose if I take the input A value false, input B value true, then output is the false. So next one is the OR operator, logical OR operator. So if any one is true, output is the true. If both are false, output is the false. Suppose same example. A is the input value, B is the input value, and C is the output value. If I am taking the A value true, B value true, output is true. If I take the A value false, B value true, output is the true. If I take the A value true, B value false, output is also true. If I take the both input values A and B false, output value also false. That is the and OR operators. Next one is the NOT. So here only one. If A is false, output is the true. If A is true, output is the false. These are the logical operators. So next one is the string operations. String operations. So string here, I already explained string is a sequence of characters. Sequence of characters. So here we will discuss about the two operators. One is the concatenation and another one is the concatenation assignment. What is meant by the concatenation here? What is meant by the concatenation? Concatenation means we are merging the more than one string into the single string. Suppose in text I have the hello. In text one world. So I want to merge hello world within the one single string. Then we can use the concatenation. For that here symbol is the dot. Dot. See here I took the here two variables. One is the text variable. Another one is the text one variable. In text variable, I have the text as the hello. In text one is the world. I want to combine hello world into the single variable. Then I have to merge these two variables in the single variable. So using dot operator, I can concatenate the two strings into the single string. So same as concatenation assignment means it will concatenate the two strings and assign that one into the another variable. These are the two string operators. Next one is the array operators. So these are also equal to the comparison operators. Using array operators, we can add the two arrays, we can subtract the arrays, and we can compare the arrays. So next one is the conditional operator. So what is meant by the conditional operator? Why we use this conditional operator? This is also called the conditional operator, are also called the ternary operator. Conditional operator are also called the ternary operator. Here, without using the if condition, we can compare the two variables. Without using the if condition, we can compare the two variables. So that is the power of the ternary operator. That is the power of the ternary operator. Without using if condition, we can compare the two variables. Either A is big value or B is small value. Either A is greater than to B or B is smaller than to A. Like this, you can compare the two variables without using the if condition. That is the power of the ternary operator or conditional operator. Using question mark and colon, we can represent the ternary operator or conditional operator or conditional operator. This is the null collapsing. So next one we will discuss about the variables. Those are the data types and the operators. So data type, using data type means which type of data we are using, we are saying to the compiler or interpreter. So Java is a interpreter. Java is a interpreter. C language is a compiler. What is the difference between compiler and the interpreter? After writing your programming code, you have to check whether your coding contains any grammatical mistakes or syntactical mistakes, any runtime errors. For that purpose, you can compile your program. The compile, suppose if you wrote the 5 lines of code, the compiler will come check the all 5 lines at a time and it will show the errors. What is the interpreter? Interpreter functionality also same. Whatever compiler doing the functionality, interpreter functionality also same. Then what is the difference between compiler and the interpreter? Why we can use the interpreter instead of compiler? Compiler will check the line by line. Sorry, interpreter will check the line by line. Sorry, interpreter will check the line by line errors. Compiler will check the 5 lines code is there. It will check the total 5 lines at a time. But interpreter will check the line by line. First, it will check the second line. After, if it is perfectly is there first line, then it will go to the second line. If second line is not perfectly, if there is any mistake, immediately it will show the an error. So mistake is there, you have to rectify like this. After rectifying that one, it will move to the third line. That is the difference between the compiler and the interpreter. So PHP is the interpreter. C language is the compiler. C++ is the interpreter. Java language is the compiler cum interpreter, both. Python is the interpreter. Purely interpreter, Python. So now we will discuss about variables. What is variable? Why we need the variables in the programming language? Variable is an identifier like a name. Suppose if you want to identify any person, that person has the one name. So like that here also, if you want to store the values, we need the variable. If you want to store the, suppose in previous day we gave the 124, 244 like this values, decimal values, string values, and the numeric values. If you want to store these values in the memory, for that purpose you can use the variables. Variable is an identifier or one name. Using this, you can store the values in the memory. Yes, once again I will explain. Listen carefully. Variable is an identifier or a name. Using this, you can store the values in the memory. That is the variable. So we have some rules and regulations are there to declare a variable in the PHP language. Suppose if you want to form the sentences in English language, you have to follow some rules and regulations. So some vowels are there, consonants are there, some future tenses are there, some past tense. Like this, using all these things, you can form some sentences in English language. These are the rules and regulations are grammar. We are calling those things grammar. Like that here also we have to follow some rules and regulations in programming languages to declare the variables. So even CM is going on the road, police has also follow some rules and regulations. So road is clear, no traffic jam, like this, some rules and regulations, they will follow their protocols. Like that, here also we can follow the some rules and regulations to declare variables in the programming languages. I think you understood why we need the variables. What is the purpose of the variables in the programming languages? So here I mentioned the some rules. So first rule is the to create a variable, start with the dollar symbol followed by its name. Its name. In PHP, first you have to mention the dollar symbol. After that, you can mention the your name. If I want to declare the variable name as A, if I want to declare the variable name as A, for that purpose, I have to mention the first data type name, integer, next dollar symbol. After dollar symbol, I have to mention the A. That is the first rule. So coming to the next rule, to name a variable, either a letter and underscore must be used. To start the variable, don't use the numerical value starting variable. So underscore or letter. Start with the variable names with the either underscore or letter, but not special symbols and the numerical values. Next, it is not possible to start variable with the number. Already I discussed. It is possible to use the only alphanumeric characters and underscores. So it is possible only letters and the underscores. You can use the after underscore and character numerical values. Suppose dollar symbol A1, dollar symbol B2, dollar symbol C5, dollar symbol D101. Like this, you can mention the variable names. After character and underscore, you can mention the numerical values, but not starting, but not starting, but not starting. These are the some rules defined by the PHP program. These how many rules are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rules are there. So these are the examples. So this is it is a case sensitive. PHP is a case sensitive. What is meant by the case sensitive? If you declare the any variable within the capital letters, if you want to use this variable some other where in the program, you have to give the within the capital letters only. If you mention the variable name within the small letters, if you want to use this variable some other place in the program, you can use the small letter. That is the case sensitive. Next one is the scope of variables. So we have the two types of scope of variables: local variables and the global variables. Local variables and the global variables. So using local variables, suppose if you declare the one variable within the function, within the method, you can access those variables within that function only, but not outside, but not outside of the method. Suppose if you have a bike, that is your own property. You can only use that property. That is the local variable. Global variable means you can use that variable anywhere in the program, within the function, out of the function, within the method, out of the function. Example is the RTC bus. Anybody can use the RTC bus. That is the local variable. Sorry, global variable. Next one is the static. Suppose if you want to maintain the one variable fixed values, then you can use the static. So these are the examples. Definition and example. Next one is the decisions and loops. So what is meant by the decision? Decision making in PHP. Based upon the condition, you can take the decision. Suppose if you wrote the 10th class exams, so you passed the 10th class, all 6 subjects, then you can take that decision, you can join in intermediate. That is the decision. If you fail the 10th class, then you can decide, you can take the decision. I have to prepare this subject again, I have to write this exam. That is your decision. So based upon the condition, you can take the decision. Here condition, either true or false. True means if you pass the 10th class, that is the true. If you fail the 10th class, that is a false. If your 10th class passed is true, you can take the decision to join an intermediate. If it is false, you can prepare again that subject. So like that, here also we have some conditional statements in not only in PHP, in every language we have some conditional statements. What are those conditional statements? Here I mentioned if statement, if else statement, if else if else statements. So using if statement, say if condition. Using if condition, you are checking the condition. Either it is true or false. Suppose if it is true, it will execute the some statement. If it is false, it will come out from this condition. It will execute the next statement. This is the example. Next one is the if else. This is the alternative to the if condition. Say if condition is true, you have to execute some statements. If condition is false, you have to execute the some other block of statement. Suppose if A greater than B, condition is true, we are printing the print A. Because A greater than B means A is the bigger than B. Next, if else if. What is meant by the if else if? It is used when multiple conditions of true cases exist. It allows us to use the multiple if else statement. So multiple conditions. Using if condition, you can check the only one condition. Using if else condition, you can check the only either true or false. But using if else if, you can check the multiple conditions. See. Here, if condition, if this condition is true, again you are checking the another condition. Again you are checking the another condition. Like this, if it is true, you can check another condition also. So using if else if, you can check the multiple conditions at a time. So this is syntax and example program. Next one is the switch statement. So what is the purpose of this switch statement? It is an alternative to the if else if. It is alternative to the if else if. So in switch statement, we will take the only one value. So we are keeping the that switch in the switch that value, we are checking the conditions, case 1, case 2, case 3. If your value is matched with case 1, then you can come out with the using break statement. So if the value is not matching with the case 1, then it will comes to the statement 2 case. So if it is not matching with the statement 3, it will come to the statement 3 and 4. Finally, we have the default. This is the flowchart. Example program. Next one is the loop. So what is the loop? What are the purpose of the loop? We will discuss now. So it's 7:50. Shall we discuss or shall we discontinue? Loop means if you want to print the same sentence more than one time. If you want to print the same sentence more than one time, suppose hello world. I want to print the hello world 10 times, repeated times. Then the time we can use the loop. If I want to print the digits 1 to 10 numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then we can use the looping statement. If I want to print the A to Z characters, then that time I can use the looping statements. If you want to print the more than one statement, one sentence at a time, then we can use the looping statements. Then we can use the looping statements. Not only in this language, in any language you can use the loop. So we have the while loop, do while loop, for loop. Yes, for each loop. In any language, we have the common three languages. While loop, do while loop, for loop. But in scripting languages, they mention the one more loop. That is called the for each loop. In PHP, Perl, VB script, JavaScript. In any scripting language, they mention the for each loop. So we will discuss what is while loop, what is do while loop, what is for loop, what is for each loop. In tomorrow's class, we will discuss what is while loop, what is do while loop, like this. Thank you, guys.